Hello everybody! Today's video is how we survived hand, foot, and mouth disease with 6 kids. Plus, what, a 5-month-old. If you hear my kids are having snack time at the table, I want to do this quick little video of just tell you what we did to get through it and how we kept our littlest one and our one other child not sick. So here we go. So firstly, hand, foot, and mouth disease is a common virus that most kids get in their lifetime, and it causes sores on their mouth, hands, and feet. In our case, it went everywhere. Posey was the first one to get it. It starts out with a fever usually, but she got like 100 fever. We really didn't notice, she just kind of felt warmer to us. It started on her hands and her, like right above her lip. And we were like, what is that? And then within a day, it exploded. It was all over her butt, her lady bits, her feet, her hands, the back of her knees, under her arms, and pretty much all up her legs. It was everywhere. And so we took her to the doctor because I didn't think hand, foot, and mouth disease looked like that. I thought it was just hand, foot, and mouth. No, it can go everywhere. The doctor actually said they should call it hand, foot, and mouth and butt disease. It was really funny. So yeah, but for our case, it went up the legs. It was just all over. And it's really painful. It is horrible to watch your kids go through this. The sores will burst a little bit. They'll get kind of like, almost like a water blister, and like there'll be pus and stuff in it, and they'll burst. It's not good. So when we first found out that she had it, we tried to quarantine her from our littlest one. We kept her away from Lindy, our littlest. I kept her in the living room most of the time. I used Clorox wipes all over like Lindy's equipment. And I used 409 too, because they kill them. I know they're not really healthy for the environment, but it worked, it did the job. I did like all the play equipment, the table where she ate after she finished eating, and I just kept Lindy away. And I washed my hands every time I picked up Lindy, all the time. Like anytime I was around Posey, I would wash my hands, just constantly washing my hands, just soap, just to, you know, keep the germs away. What we did for Posey, we kept her on Motrin and Tylenol, variation of what we could do. And then at night we gave her a little bit of Benadryl for her to sleep. She actually did pretty good with sleep. She didn't have much trouble sleeping through it. But Griffin, who got it the next day, it really affected him. His exploded all over his face. His whole face was covered in all these tiny little, awful little like warts, like tiny sores that burst, and it looked so painful. It was all in his mouth. He could not eat. He could not sleep. He went almost over 24 hours without sleeping. So what I would do for Griffin for the sores in his mouth, because they were so bad, to get him through the day, I would take kaopectate. I put a little bit of like a medicine cup, and I put a little bit of Benadryl in. I take a Q-tip and I just kind of run it over the tongue in his mouth so he could eat a little bit. But it helped a little bit. It's not that great, but it got him through the day. But like, he would eat, the food would fall out of his mouth, the water would just pour out of his mouth. I mean, there were so many in his mouth, guys. It was the saddest thing ever. He suffered. We kept him on Benadryl like for nap time, but it wouldn't even work. Benadryl, like, he would not sleep through it. It was so bad. He is still covered in them, but they're not like blistering. He's fine now. They're just like tiny little red dots on his face. The doctor did say it would last, what was it, between 9 and 12 days or something. So it lasted a long time. And so what we would do for like to keep him comfortable with Posey, we'd lotion them up as much as we could. To kind of keep him distracted, I gave him like a lukewarm bath where I get like a little bit of water so they could play it, just to distract them when they were at their most miserable. And then the doctor did say the ones at first to bandage them if they got really bad. This was a traumatic illness for me. It was not fun. Our older Harrison got it on his hands and feet and mouth. He would say it would just hurt to swallow because he was old enough to tell us. So we would give him just Motrin and he was totally okay, but his hands and feet did hurt. Sawyer got his hands and feet. He kind of had a little trouble walking, but he definitely didn't complain like the other guys. And then Lindy never got it, and Winnie, our second oldest, never got it, Winnie either. So I think that disinfecting a lot, washing our hands a lot, worked for us, but it was really hard. So that is how we survived hand, foot, and mouth disease. It is awful. I don't recommend anyone having it. If you can avoid it, please do. I must have had it as a child. I didn't get it, thank God, because I don't know what I would have done. Yeah, but I know you can get it again, but I did not get it, so hallelujah. So yeah, that's how we survived. Thanks guys for watching, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget guys, you are wonderful. Bye. Bye.